Hello, hello. Welcome back, students. I'm your personal English tutor, Morayo, and today we are learning about Thanksgiving and American culture, but not just any Thanksgiving. We're not looking at the history. We're not just going to go over vocabulary. We're looking at modern American customs and behaviors for Thanksgiving. Let's go ahead and get started. Hello. Americans love to play. It doesn't matter what type of game, whether it's indoors or out, Americans are going to play if we have a chance to spend time together, especially with our friends and family. We enjoy playing indoor and outdoor games for Thanksgiving, and we're going to review a few example students. So the first one is going to be football, American football. When we play outside without pads and without a helmet, that's called touch football. If there's a piece of fabric that we pull off, that's called flag football. Above it, you're going to see a red rectangle with a hole in it. That game is called cornhole. We throw those small little bags into the hole and we get points. Whoever has the most points at the end of the game is the winner. And if you lose, everyone is going to make fun of you. There's also great activities that you can do with pumpkins, starting from Halloween all the way through Thanksgiving, and games like coin toss that you can play outdoors with friends and family. Indoors, if you're from the West Coast, especially the Pacific Northwest, you may not want to go outside to play. And so staying inside and playing with a puzzle or playing Thanksgiving Pictionary or playing bingo is also a great option. So let's say that playing games isn't really your thing. And maybe you're not really psyched about the idea of putting together puzzles. That's okay. In the United States, another big tradition, modern tradition for Thanksgiving is having a movie or TV show marathon. And this is where you binge watch your favorite content, either on a streaming service or old school, one at a time. You can use a projector with friends and family, and you can watch all of the movies in a series, which can be really fun. So for me, I'm a big sci-fi fan. You can watch a bunch of sci-fi movies, a bunch of seasonal movies. A lot of times people like to watch Christmas movies to get ready for the Christmas season. And this is a very popular way of spending Thanksgiving nowadays. And one last thing, you can also have what's called a watch party. So online, we can all get together in a group and we can all watch the same TV show or movie. And a watch party is another great way of sharing the holidays with everyone. Black Friday shopping. Every year for Thanksgiving, many Americans actually will start their shopping for Christmas early. I do not like to do this, but there are many of us who do. And we will prepare our credit cards, grab our cash, and we will either shop online or at the mall or at other stores buying gifts for the people who are most important to us. Do you go Black Friday shopping in your country? Please let me know in the comments below. If you are talented and you like to do things that involve art and involve putting things together, you might really enjoy fall crafts. And because Thanksgiving is the time of the year where Americans are away from work, we can come together and be with friends and family. It's a great time to do fall crafts. And we will have the children usually do fall crafts to kind of keep them busy while the adults are speaking or while the adults are cooking normally in certain areas where maybe the children can't help, like chopping, it's great to give them something else to do. One of the other main reasons we love doing fall crafts is because it's really essential for most Americans to decorate for Thanksgiving and for the season change. And so going into the fall, we may not necessarily decorate for summer, but a lot of us like to decorate for fall. And this is a great time to do what we call DIY, which stands for do it yourself crafts. And you can do these using different items you have around your house. You can use vegetables and fruits. You can use leaves outside that are changing colors. And it is a great way of making your house feel more festive. Football! Goal! Okay, so we all know that whether you are an English speaker from Europe, whether you're an English speaker from the continent of Africa, whether you are an English speaker from somewhere here in North America, when we say football, it is only going to mean one of two things. We are either talking about what we Americans call soccer, which involves that round ball that's black and white, or we're talking about, of course, American football. And American football is extremely popular. The NFL puts on a game every single year for Thanksgiving, and they air, same as put on, to host, basically. They host that game, air that game on national television. And when I got married, you guys, many, many years ago, it became a tradition in my household to watch football. And we actually really enjoy it. We're going to do it this year as well. American football is a big part of the modern American Thanksgiving holiday. For some of us Americans, it would be impossible to consider having Thanksgiving Day without watching the Thanksgiving Day parade. Macy's is a department store here in the United States that has been around for a very, very long time. And even though Macy's is a store that is not necessarily shopped at by many of us, because you need to have quite a bit of money normally to shop there, Macy's puts on a beautiful Thanksgiving Day parade. And for many of us, we watch that parade every single year because the parade takes place on the East Coast in New York City. What normally happens for the rest of us is we set an alarm to wake us up at a certain time so that we can be ready and we can watch that parade. Because as you may or may not know, here in the United States, we live in different time zones. So if you're like me and you're born in California, you are going to need to wake up a little bit earlier in order to catch certain shows and broadcasts that might be going on in New York, because they are going to air at their time, let's say 10 a.m. our time. It'll be like, 7 o'clock in the morning. So this is one of those traditions where first thing in the morning, when you start cooking, you're going to fire up the TV and start watching the parade. Share what you're most thankful for. Thanksgiving is a time of the year where many Americans like to share what we are most thankful for, what we have the most gratitude for. And for me, I know that my family is one of the most important things to me. Stephen, I know you're watching. I want to say thank you for being such a wonderful, supportive spouse and motivating me to continue. I want to thank my creative and beautiful daughter, Sarah. I want to thank my supportive and kind sister, Sarika. And of course, I want to thank my fun-loving and energetic puppy, River, for keeping me going and giving me the motivation to do what I do. I also want to thank each and every one of my students. I know you guys are out there watching from home, and please please know that I remember you, I see you, and I am grateful to have you in my life. My English ESL is here because of you. So, what are you grateful for? Comment in the message below. Comment in the comments below. So, what are you most grateful for? Tell me in the comments below. Break the wishbone for good luck. Okay, I know this is going to sound crazy, but inside of birds, there's a bone that looks kind of like a triangle, as you can see in the middle. And it's called a wishbone here in the United States. I'm not going to get into any anatomy or physiology. And when you're done cooking the bird and you're done eating the meat, two people will break the wishbone, and whoever gets the bigger piece will have good luck. This is a tradition that I did with my mother and father growing up every year for Thanksgiving. And along the top, I wanted to show you some other traditions that Americans find lucky. So, all of my students have seen me do this in class. And this basically is how Americans will also show good luck, is we will cross our fingers. We also love the idea of a four-leaf clover or a horseshoe that is upright because it is holding in the luck. Go for a walk, go for a hike, go for a run. If you are here in the United States for the Thanksgiving Day holiday, don't be surprised if you see a lot of us Americans outside. During the summer, the weather can get really hot in many parts of the US. And as the weather cools off in the fall, it is a great time to get outdoors and enjoy the beautiful season change if you don't like super hot weather. Now, what's really cool about being an American is that there's many ways of getting outside. Some of us really do enjoy a nice walk. Other people like to hike and be a little more, physical, outdoorsy. And we also have Thanksgiving Day runs and marathons that are hosted every year. And it's also a really great excuse to get into shape. So let's say, for example, you need to lose 20 pounds. Well, if you need to lose those 20 pounds, you could get a gym membership. But if you need extra motivation, sign up for a Thanksgiving Day marathon. And now you have a reason to work out. See you out there. Volunteer. In the United States, we use a phrasal verb called give back or giving back. And giving back means that you want to share the benefit of what you have in your life with other people in the community that are needy, or with a cause that is important to you. During the fall, during Thanksgiving, when we are thinking about what we are grateful for, a really great modern tradition is to volunteer. Some people are going to volunteer at the food bank because Thanksgiving is so well known for eating and for cooking. Food is a huge, important part of the holiday. But for some of us, getting outdoors and volunteering and helping out parks and recreation is also important. And then again, for others, many people like to volunteer in their local community, where they will volunteer at their church or they will volunteer for a nonprofit. It doesn't matter how you choose to volunteer. This is another great modern American tradition. Do you like to cook? Because if you like to cook, Thanksgiving will be your favorite holiday here in the US. This is a wonderful time for us to share recipes, or as we like to say, swap recipes. And it is a great time for us to make the foods that we don't normally make throughout the year. If you have a favorite family recipe and you feel comfortable, share it in the comments below, or share a link to one of your favorite family recipes. I'll do the same. Okay, so now for our top activity to do during Thanksgiving. And yes, eating. Eating is another one of the top Thanksgiving activities. Eating is another one of the top Thanksgiving activities. And we eat from the time we wake up to the time we go to bed. And I'm talking about after midnight. We have something called leftovers, which is the food that we have after the main meal. And we'll make sandwiches and we'll make other dishes out of that food, as well as having snacks during a game or a get together and snacks at an office party for Thanksgiving. Now, I'm curious, what food are you looking forward to? I would love to have some green beans. I'm looking forward to another slice of pie. And if you could spare some, biscuit or two would be really, really yummy. What are you looking forward to eating? I can't just say goodbye without saying thank you again. Like, share, and subscribe for more ESL.